Carol was 50 years old, living what she thought was a stable life with her husband Joseph, a respected and admired man in their small community. They had been married for 25 years, and she trusted him completely. But 2 years before their marriage ended, Joseph reconnected with an old girlfriend named Stacy through social media. A casual conversation turned into late-night messages, which turned into a secret affair. Joseph would sneak away to meet Stacy while telling Carol he was working late or traveling. Carol noticed the change. Coldness, secretive behavior, a phone that was always hidden. One night, unable to take the worry anymore, she confronted him. "Who are you texting so much?" Carol asked, her voice shaking. Joseph glanced up, irritated. "It's work, Carol. You're imagining things." Carol's heart sank as she read the messages on his phone. "You promised me you ended this." Joseph, seeing the fear and anger on her face, tried to calm her. "Carol, don't do this. I love you, please. Think of our family. Think of what people will say." It hit Carol in that moment. Joseph didn't want to lose her because he loved her, but because he wanted to protect his image. She agreed one last time to try again. But she told him, "This is your last chance." Joseph nodded, relieved. "You won't regret it." Carol left for a 4-day hospital training in Nashville, believing maybe they could recover. But Joseph saw her absence as an opportunity. He checked into a luxury hotel with Stacy, spending money on a fancy steakhouse and living out his double life, while Carol tried to save their marriage. When Carol returned, she went through the bills. Her heart sank. A hotel suite, a high-end restaurant, all charged to their account while she was away. Holding the receipts in her hand, she felt her final hope shatter. "Explain this," she demanded, holding out the papers. Joseph stammered. I needed to clear my head. It was only one night." "One night too many," Carol answered, calm and resolute. "I'm done." Carol packed what little she wanted to keep and moved to Louisville, where her son Keith welcomed her into his home. For 6 months, she stayed in his guest room, mourning the loss of her marriage while trying to remember who she was before Joseph's betrayal. Starting over was terrifying. At 50, it felt impossible. But she found a job at a local hospital working in administration. On her first day, she was so nervous her hands trembled. The other employees noticed. "You'll get the hang of it," a kind co-worker told her. "We'll help." Gradually, Carol found her place. She impressed her supervisor by reorganizing complicated night shift schedules, and soon her boss was asking her to lead staff trainings for new employees. She began to make friends, colleagues who valued her skills and respected her honesty. Piece by piece, Carol felt her confidence return. After about a year, she bought her own small 2-bedroom house, the first place she'd ever owned in her own name. No one could ever take it from her. It was hers, fully and completely. Carol filled it with fresh flowers, warm lamps, and hopeful dreams. As her new life took shape, Keith gently encouraged her to think about dating again. "Mom," he said one evening, "you deserve to be happy." Carol laughed nervously. At my age, who would even want me?" "Someone out there will," he told her. "I promise." She tried a dating app where she met Ronnie. On their first coffee date, she told him the truth. "I was married to a liar," she said honestly. "I'm scared. I don't know if I can trust again." Ronnie smiled softly. "That doesn't define you," he told her. "You still showed up today. That's brave." They started slowly. Long walks in the park, gentle conversations, no pressure. Ronnie was patient, kind, and completely honest. "I won't rush you," he told her more than once. "I just want to be here." Gradually, Carol let her guard down. For the first time, she felt safe. Meanwhile, Joseph continued to protect his image. After the divorce, he spun a story that Carol had exaggerated, that there was never really anything going on with Stacy. Many of their old friends believed him. Carol reached out to a few of them at first, trying to tell her side, but they didn't want to listen. One friend even said, "Carol, I don't want to take sides." Those words burned in her mind. She stopped trying to explain herself. 10 years later, Stacy decided she was tired of keeping Joseph's secrets. She posted the entire truth on social media. How Joseph had carried on a long affair, how he had tried to hide it, and how Carol had been right all along. The friends who had once turned away began to call Carol, apologizing, asking to reconnect. But Carol had moved on. When her phone rang, she let it go to voicemail. She smiled and turned to Ronnie. "They only want to talk now that the truth is out," she said quietly. Ronnie nodded. "You don't owe them anything." "No," Carol agreed. "I really don't." Carol and Ronnie built a life together, restoring a little fixer-upper house they painted and decorated side by side. It wasn't perfect, but it was honest and real. The home she had longed for her entire life. Carol began leading new staff trainings at the hospital, mentoring other women who were starting over in their careers. Little by little, she realized her story could help even more people. She sat down one evening to write a book. The first line was simple. The book shared everything: the fear, the heartbreak, and the power of rebuilding a life on your own terms. At her book signing, women lined up to hug her. "Thank you," one whispered. "I thought I was the only one." Carol shook her head gently. "You're never alone," she promised. In the early mornings, Carol would drink coffee with Ronnie on the porch of their little house, watching the sun rise. Sometimes she still felt a flicker of pain from what she'd lost, but it no longer controlled her. In the quiet, she knew the truth. No matter what you lose, you can rise again. She did, and so can you. I hope you were inspired by today's story. It teaches us that it is never too late to start again and create a new life filled with new possibilities, a chance to grow and even find new love. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe, like, and share with your friends. It would really mean a lot. Be sure to click the notification bell so you won't miss another story. Thank you so much. We truly appreciate you.